Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off
by the Game Day.
Happy Monday.
Happy
Monday
2-0.
Victory Monday. We did all win.
All four of us. Victory Monday.
Hey, I'm just happy to be in the win column.
Hey, welcome.
Happy to be in the
Welcome.
scoring
Happy to have
column,
you.
actually.
Happy to have you.
It took 6.5
It was a
quarters, but you
miserable
finally
six
got
and a
it.
half quarters to start
Holy
the season.
shit.
I got to tell you, how was football Sunday? I'm sorry to have missed it.
It was
That
great.
Fun.
We had a great time. We argued about Dak Prescott.
Nice. Classic.
What else did we do?
Not much arguing. But,
Yeah, I don't think there was much
You
argument.
missed the parlay by
well,
one
at
leg.
least for me, I'm just as soon as Dak comes out of his mouth, zone out.
What was Dak's red
Yeah, I
zone?
gotta start
percent?
doing that.
How did
Yeah.
Dak do in the red zone yesterday?
I'm not sure,
Oh,
but he
not
definitely
good enough.
scored some touchdowns.
Did.
He
And
definitely,
here's the thing.
facilitated
Here-
offensive drives that converted into points.
And here's the thing, right? Like,
Yep.
could have just handed it off and probably scored some rushing touchdowns, and he would have 0 touchdowns. But instead, we just had some like chip shot passing touchdowns.
Hey, you gotta
Yeah.
get in the win column. Let's see.
And
yeah,
so-
well, I mean, he's
and
a little
so-
selfish for that, though. Would you say?
and-
I would say it's a bit selfish.
But same shit though, right? Touchdown either way. So at the end of the
Why
day, that's
why
what
is
we're
he
talking
not
about.
trying to feed his teammates? He's trying to get it for himself.
I will say this
It's a little
though.
rude.
I will say this though. Big win. Dak had to
That big win against Zach Wilson and the Jets at home.
facts 70-10 on the season for the Dallas Cowboys. And we want to talk about Dak Prescott's greatness. I had him number 2 last week.
We won.
You
You
had him
Dak-
three.
no, I had him number
You
3.
had him three.
I had him number 3 last week.
ready to move him up?
I'm not going to move him up solely because I love Trevor Lawrence so much, and then Pat's
Ooh.
steady at 1.
But
But
Trevor didn't.
Go
play.
ahead and do yourself a favor, everybody in America, and go look up the top QBRs for the 2023 season and see who's number 1 and see who's number 2
Where'd you see that one?
Is Tua not?
Who's number 2?
and see who's number 3. I think our quarterbacks are top 3.
I
Dak's
think it
number
might
Dak's
actually be
Purdy
Dak-
too.
Were
Dak
you on
has the-
NFL.com
Purdy was number 1 after week
or
1.
ESPN? Where'd you see that?
QBR is QBR regardless. Dak
No,
is
because
No,
ESPN doesn't have it updated last night for last night's game. Just gonna put that out there.
do they not?
Nope.
All right. Well, number 1 QBR is Dak Prescott for the season.
Let's look it up right now. Come on.
Well, I just don't think. I mean, I was checking out at least on ESPN to try and see the stats. They don't have it
Total
updated.
QBR 2023 season leaders. Number 1, Dak Prescott. Number 2, Brock Purdy. Number 3, Tua Tagovailoa.
There we go.
And how many?
Number
games?
4, Jordan Love.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been balling.
What are you on right now?
Let me ask you, what?
Espen.
Yeah, they don't have.
Where
Tua's
in
game
the
last night.
30s is Daniel?
All right,
Jones?
well, let's go on team rankings.
They don't.
Number 1. Okay, this is weird. Oh, wait, this is QB rating. Different stat.
That's
not
rating's different.
QBR. Yep. Why is there? Oh, NFL total QBR leaders. All right.
Hey, nice. All right, well, let's talk about.
2022.
Let's recap.
Doesn't
This is
matter.
the
Anyways,
recapped
Dak
episode.
Prescott's number 1 QBR, and then obviously 2 and Brock are top 3. So our quarterbacks are all there. I'm just
We probably do
saying.
have the 3 best quarterbacks in football.
I'm just
honestly.
saying, like,
Honestly, yeah.
like we said, like after week 1, how you gonna fault a guy? He's up 40-0. Like the offense isn't gonna be trying to score. It's all about efficiency. What does he do when he's given opportunities? And he played well again. So
But also, I feel you can't he hasn't really shown any flashes of doing incredible stuff.
So then
this
you look
year,
at QBR because that's gonna quantify what you do with your opportunities. Anyways, I want Matan to carry it to the next.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this week's slate of NFL games. A little recap episode, shall we?
Yeah, we shall.
Where do we start?
Where do we start? Well, the NFL's wide open. It was
The NFL
kind of
is
Wide the fuck open.
wide open. There's not really a clear front runner of who the best team is. There's some arguments.
There are a couple
There's
arguments.
some
But there's
arguments.
no-
I would say.
Right now, there's usually you're like, oh, the Chiefs are the best team, or the Eagles. Like
Well,
now, it's like you could make an argument for 6 different teams right now. I
mean,
that are the best team.
let's
I'll
make-
say it
let's make an
before
argument for all
Felipe
6
says it.
teams.
I'll say it
Make an
before
argument for all
Felipe
6
says it. The Cowboys are the best team in football
Dude, they beat the
by a
fucking
lot.
They beat a shit ass Giants team.
I
They
think
beat
that's-
Zach Wilson led Jets team. I'm not buying it yet.
That's
I will say after 2 weeks, yes, they are. But I think that's where I come back to. There's not too many teams just fully at the top because of the opponents. Now, granted, we all thought the Giants were better than they were. A Jets-led team with Zach Wilson
I
is
didn't.
not as much. Well, you're a dog.
yet.
A Jets-led team with Zach Wilson is not something that I think poses threats to anyone.
Except the Bills. Let's
Okay.
call a spade a spade.
Well, maybe the Bills aren't that good.
That's where
Potentially.
I'm going with that. That's where I'm also going with that. So I just think when it comes to the Cowboys, yes, they are the best team currently because they've the 70-10, they've outscored teams.
Yeah.
But there's no team at the top where you're like, holy fuck. There's no Eagles of last year where they're just completely beating the fucking brakes off of teams.
That's
and feeling
that's
dominance.
bad take.
Okay, good take because you're gonna say the Cowboys.
No, I'm not. I actually agree with you in terms of the Cowboys. Like, it's been 2 weeks. Let's not overreact. But the Eagles were beating a bunch of bad teams last year. A bunch of bad teams
That's
last
true.
year.
They had a bad
And we
schedule.
overreacted and we
They
said
beat
they're
up
the
on
best team in
everyone.
football.
Yep.
But also
But
to
you
that
know
point,
why
So
we're
there
not-
is an Eagles
but
win
also
last
to
year,
that-
and
You
it's
know
the
why we're
Dallas
not upset with
Cowboys.
the Cowboys? Because it's the Cowboys.
I agreed.
But also
Yeah.
to that point, and correct me if I'm wrong, could be completely wrong, but I feel like Jalen Hurts was also pure hooper hours during those first 2 weeks.
And Dak's #1 QBR.
Yeah,
But
that's what he's saying.
But Dak is not hooping necessarily.
Dak's not. He's layups. Like
No,
he's layups,
guys,
and that's fine. You
Adam,
convert. You
Adam,
should
Dak-
make
Dak-
layups.
It's like
But
I'm not here to incite violence. All I'm
Yes, you
saying
are.
is, it's very close. Last year, a lot of people were saying Jalen Hurts is doing his thing, and then we on this podcast, a lot of times were saying like, guys, like let's look at the team around him, and he's not scoring all these like passing touchdowns, but he's rushing so many, he's having some efficient stats and everything like that. He wasn't popping off, like he wasn't having Mahomes stats. He wasn't doing what Herbert was doing,
No,
but
but
Herbert
he was
losing.
he was the other guy in the MVP
I mean,
conversation.
I would say
Right, and it's only been
honestly,
2
until-
weeks. It's only been
until
2
Jalen
weeks.
It's only been
Hurts
2
got
weeks,
hurt, He
right.
was the MVP this year.
Yeah,
He was. He would have won.
yeah, I just think if I compare the first 2 games of Jalen Hurts and the Eagles of last year versus the Cowboys and this year, I'm thinking the Eagles were more dominant last year. Maybe I got to look at the stats again, and I can't remember. But
I think you're right because they beat the Vikings, I think, week 2, and we thought the Vikings were contenders.
because they
So once they
beat
did-
the Packers the
Yes.
first week.
So once they did, and they beat the Packers the first week, we also thought the Packers were contenders, and they weren't.
Look, we've been
I
saying
would like to see what the Cowboys can do against a team that's actually going to like make
I
the
agree.
playoffs.
that's what I was about to
No.
say.
I
is
agree.
We've been saying
Yeah.
this the whole time. Is like we can't base this on the first 2 weeks, especially playing against bad teams. So
what's
or
your guys'
teams that
schedule?
are
You got-
not top level.
honestly, the Cowboys aren't getting tested until they
Play the
go
Niners.
all right,
to the
I
Niners
actually
game.
stand corrected. In Jalen Hurts' first game last year, he actually threw 0 touchdowns, 0 INTs. He had 243 yards passing. Second game, threw for 333 yards, but only had 1 touchdown and 1 INT. It wasn't
so
until-
comparable, very
It
comparable.
wasn't
Honestly,
until
I
the
don't
third
think-
game till he popped off where he had 3 TDs and 0 INTs. Now,
Honestly,
granted,
I
I'm only looking at passing,
I think
rushing.
it took a while though for us to really be like the Eagles are the best team. in football.
Sorry, in game 1, he did have 1 rushing touchdown, and the second one he had 2 rushing touchdowns. So definitely a better performance. But yeah,
but it did
Still.
take us a while to like realize.
But
that.
there you go.
So-
That's exactly it, right? Like you have to see multiple games of a team winning and a quarterback being at the helm of that to put him in the MVP conversation. Hurts, maybe he was in the conversation after a couple weeks, but right
So,
now we need to
as
just see
of-
more.
As of right now, though, which NFL teams do you think can win the Super Bowl?
The Cowboys.
like
I
just
the-
after 2 weeks.
I think the
Just like
Cowboys.
as of right now. As of right now, yeah.
I think the Cowboys should be the Super Bowl favorite at this point.
yes.
Cowboys, 49ers. If the Eagles get it right, I think Jalen Hurts has to improve. He's definitely
Eagles,
regressed. He looks really bad.
Chiefs.
The Chiefs still can. The Chiefs always kind of start slow. I feel like we don't think about them so early in the season. Last year we certainly didn't.
Yeah,
But
Chiefs. could do
The
it,
Chiefs,
yeah.
Chiefs
the
could
Chiefs
do
are
it.
still the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The
I think
Niners.
there's those 4, and then it falls off.
Yeah.
The other ones are all speculative, I think, because
Like,
you
the
could say
Ravens
like
could, the Bills
said the
could,
Ravens
the Bengals
could.
could, the fucking like there's a lot.
We'll get to the Bengals. I don't know if the Bengals could.
Who started 0-2 last year? Made the
Yeah,
AFC
you're right, you're right,
Championship
you're
game.
right.
Like, let's not.
We can't run them. We'll get to that.
I was
We're
constructing.
gonna do this again, but we shouldn't.
I was
do it again.
constructing a tweet. No one said the Miami Porpoises.
no one said the Miami
Mm.
Dolphins. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
yes.
after week 2.
Not after week 2. Missing 3 of your best players.
Hey, we're gonna
Hey,
get to
Van
that.
Ginkel looked fucking good.
We're gonna
though.
get to that.
Did.
We're gonna-
Shout out Wisconsin.
Throughout these recap episodes,
He's
we're
such a
gonna do our takeaways from that week of both conferences. We're gonna start with the NFC. We already started talking about the Cowboys
Can
and how
I
they should be the Super Bowl
interject
favorite.
quickly?
Sure.
Because I see Level 2 Noob is tuning into this live. And Level 2 Noob on yesterday's live stream suggested a bet
Yeah.
that
Oh,
only
yeah.
sways in Adam Tabachnik's favor.
Oh boy.
Sure.
If the Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots, Felipe must sing the Miami Dolphins fight song.
That's true.
I
I,
had
agree.
said
I
that
did
is
agree
true.
to that.
And he
But
agreed
shouldn't
to
we
that.
wait till we get to the talking about the Dolphins before we do that?
We could.
I think Adam's just antsy. Look at his foot.
He's so antsy. He wants it to cash out
We can
right
wait.
now.
We can wait. We
No,
can wait.
we can do it.
We can wait.
After I just bring up one statistic.
Sure. We'll wait.
For
We'll wait
America.
till the Dolphins
Bro,
talk.
why?
Josh Allen versus the New York Jets, 29-41, 236 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 3 INTs,
I
1
gotta say
fumble.
it's slower, dude. My
Dak-
brain is.
Yeah, that can I look? at it?
29 of 41 passing.
Dak?
Josh Allen versus the Jets last week.
Okay.
Like, you
29 of
Hold
41
on,
passing.
hold on. Can we contextualize a little bit because we just went all over the place with
Absolutely.
this Dolphins thing? We're
Sorry.
talking about the NFC first.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Dallas Cowboys
Yeah.
and how
Why?
the Dallas Cowboys perform because we're going to go through NFC
They just beat the
conversations.
shit- all right.
I was saying
lost.
I think the Cowboys could be the Super Bowl
Those aren't
favorites.
that good either.
So the question
know
that
that.
I have proposed is, do you think the Cowboys should be the Super Bowl favorites?
No.
Yes.
That's fine, but you your no is speculation, right? I mean, it's like, all right, the Niners, yes, okay, then who? The Cowboys.
Well, would you say
So
the
I don't care if
Niners?
the Cowboys are first or second.
Obviously,
It
I'd
doesn't
say the
matter.
Niners.
No.
I'm a Niners
Actually,
fan.
objectively, would you say like is the reason you're saying no is because you think the Niners should be? Super
Can we
favorites?
just drop objectively?
right
There's
now
no
the
objectively
Cowboys-
anymore.
That's
No. I want
We're
to be
all so
objective.
biased to our team.
Yeah.
Be objective right now. What do you mean?
That's
Do you-
fine. Forget it. Like I'm not mad at
I've
anybody who
given
says
up
the
of
Niners.
object-
I don't
of-
care.
on objectivity, man. I've
No,
given up.
I just the Cowboys haven't played anyone. They fucking killed the two teams, which is great for them. But
So to answer my
Let's just
question,
slow the
you're
roll.
saying
Let's slow the
you're
roll
saying
a bit.
yes,
Pump
but
the
someone
brakes.
needs to be the favorite.
Wait,
is
but
my
who
point.
are
I
the
would still
Niners-
say the Chiefs because they have Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
Great.
Fair.
There you go.
that was answer my question. Thank
All
you. Appreciate it.
Felipe, you have a stat to
Yeah.
support your guy Dak Prescott? Hey,
Yeah,
high
we
five.
just whenever I bring up stats like Dak, Josh Allen, all this kind of stuff, everybody just fucking goes crazy, right? All right. Here's the thing. Now, because you can always bring up different circumstances, like, oh, he played a better team, a better defense. Da, 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 da. The thing with Josh Allen last week, and you said the Jets had a top 3 defense in the league. Did you not?
I did.
You did. Okay.
So did you.
I did.
Yeah.
I think the Jets are a top 3 defense in the NFL, which what they did to Josh Allen, it was criminal.
Okay, so you're comparing. I'm assuming Dak versus Josh Allen against
That's
the
what he's
Jets,
doing,
right?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Josh Allen threw for 29 out of 41,
Right,
236 passing yards,
246,
236.
36. I'm a visual learner. I can't
One
do this.
touchdown, 3 interceptions, and a
Mm.
fumble.
Yep.
So 4 turnovers, only 1 touchdown.
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yeah.
Just let it happen.
And a loss.
Just let it
Mm.
happen.
And a loss.
Mm.
Dak Prescott versus the Jets, 31 of 38, 255 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. And after 2 weeks, he has the number 1 QBR in the NFL. And so all I'm trying to say is that, like, who cares about QB debates and all this type of stuff?
You do.
But put him in the conversation with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and all these guys who you say is number 2 best quarterback in the league. Nobody's proven to be number 2, but Dak Prescott just went against the same defense, the same exact defense that forced Josh Allen to throw 3 interceptions and have 1 fumble, and he balled out. He did his thing.
Josh Allen had a one-off and had one of the worst games of his career. Like that shit.
It's not a one-off. He led the league in interception. Him and Dak were right there
I was
for
gonna
interceptions.
say who
last
else
year.
did that shit. Like, don't just pick and choose that.
I'm not picking and choosing.
just
How many
saying.
times have we talked about top 10 QBR or top 10 interception rates in history? Dak is the lowest, is like number 9 on that list.
You do say that.
So all I'm trying to say, like, I'm not even, like I said, I don't care who y'all say is better.
What does Dak legitimately accomplish to get him into that spot though?
The stats are very similar. We've talked about it many times. Like,
The one thing I'm going to say.
can we talk about this year? We're talking about 2023. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to incite no
We're talking about
violence,
2023. Jordan Love is a fucking top 5 quarterback. Like,
but I've been saying that Dak's stats are comparable to Josh Allen's. Like,
You have said that.
And-
However,
and the stats say it for themselves.
However-
Let's talk about
however,
2023.
you've never really put Dak 2, 3, 4, even 5 in your
I did in
own
the playoffs
rankings.
last year.
Okay, but now you're moving the
But
goalposts a
off
little bit.
season, when we take
Off
a
season,
step
all
back,
season you had Dak like in the top 10.
I'm all in.
Yeah, and now
on Rain.
it's been
and
2
not
weeks now.
up to 2.
I'm all in on Purple Rain and what he's able to do. I'm supporting you. I think Dak Prescott is incredibly underrated and underappreciated.
But what?
But it's been 2 weeks. Do not compare him to Josh Allen just yet.
I've been comparing him to Josh Allen, bro. That's
You may
what
have
you don't
stats.
get.
You may have stats, but
I've been comparing
after
him.
1 week you put him 3. You never had him even in your top 5. As
I
your own
did,
quarterback.
bro. In the
You've never
playoffs
in
last
your-
year. When was the last
Bro,
time we
you've
saw
never
the
in your
playoffs?
playoffs.
That. We can look at every video
We've
we've
done
done.
all
That was
season.
the one
Bro,
you just
I
said.
made
Why are we
go to
talking
my
about
personal go to my
2022?
personal TikTok. I made a TikTok in
Why didn't
like
you do it on the podcast?
July or August
Bro, you did
where I
that.
ranked my quarterbacks. Dak Prescott was 3, bro.
You did that as a joke to show people that you have to get hooked.
Joe
to
Burrow
have
was
good
also
podcast
5, I
clips.
think, or 6 on that list.
It doesn't matter. Look, yeah.
And your hook literally said, "See, I got you hooked because of Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow being lower."
Exactly.
And then go to my comments and somebody was like, "Yo, is this your real
Okay.
list?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Look, you came in here
It
saying
doesn't
you're not
matter, bro.
to
Stop
incite
trying to prove
violence.
everybody wrong. I'm just trying to
What do
say
you mean? You're
this
trying
is
to
my
prove us
ranking.
wrong.
This is my ranking, bro. Like what you think my ranking is and what it's not, it's your opinion. My ranking is my ranking. I have Dak 3,
I
bro.
agree with you. I'm just saying,
It's
don't.
crazy.
If
You can think it's crazy,
You
but like
call
stop
us
trying
out-
to say my ranking isn't my ranking. What am I gonna say?
All
Okay,
right.
you're right. My ranking
I'm
isn't
just
my
saying,
ranking.
All offseason, it was different though.
That's
fine.
fine. It was like guys were like
all
changing
we're
from
trying to
3 to
say.
6. I always said it's Joe.
That's all
I
we're
always
trying
said
to
it's that it's Patrick Mahomes, and then 2 to whatever is arguable. I've always said that.
No,
Your
you,
ranking
yes.
is your ranking. Your ranking is your ranking.
you said after 3
I don't
of
mind
those.
your rankings. I'm not coming at your rankings. What I'm coming at is the logic behind the rankings. That's
The
all.
logic behind the rankings I just gave you. Dude, I'm tired of this episode, these fucking podcasts being me versus y'all, bro. Y'all asked for my ranking. I'm going to give you my fucking ranking.
I actually just asked who the Super Bowl favorite was.
Okay, you're right. No, you're right. Matan's
I
right.
did.
Matan's
I
right.
did. You
Everyone
brought
take
up
a
the
deep
Josh
breath.
Allen
Everyone-
versus Dak.
Can we get a
stats.
moment of silence for deep breaths?
Yo, shout out the Jews though. Happy Rosh Hashanah.
Happy
I hope
Rosh
everyone
Hashanah.
had a
Facts.
good Rosh Hashanah. All right, everybody. If there's one thing you
I'll
learn
answer
on,
that question though.
on Rosh Hashanah,
Or
it's be
you
nice
said
to each
against each other. The only reason is because I feel that when and me specifically, I've always brought up stats for Tua because stats have favored Tua, but eye test has not as much. And every time holes are being poked at Tua, whether that's context, whether that's the weapons around him, all these things. So when we want to bring back up stats, let's just try and keep the same energy. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So that's why I'm coming at you specifically.
Mhm.
I am coming at you
Okay.
because all offseason, I don't remember you saying Dak was ever there. You compared him to Josh Allen. I agree with that because of the stats. You compared him to Joe Burrow. I remember that, but I don't remember him ever being in your top 5, which is totally fine because people can move.
We never did a ranking, to be fair, before the season started, which I wanted to do.
Okay.
QBR
Sure.
ranking.
I'm just saying. I don't remember that. I don't recall that. I apologize on behalf of the two
Please
other
do.
guys and Benjamin behind the camera over there if we've offended you in any way. However, let's pump the brakes on Dak.
Hey, I'm all
That's-
about it. I'm biased as fuck too. I got
You can
Purdy's
pump
top
the
5,
brakes.
6
All I'm
quarterback.
saying is, like, you give your ranking, I'm gonna let you give your ranking. I'm gonna give my ranking based off of stats and what we've seen in the past, and that's fine.
Sure.
You can disagree with it, but don't say my own rankings are wrong.
I
That
didn't say it
doesn't
was
make any
wrong.
sense.
I'm
No,
saying-
none of us
no-
are saying
no
your
one said it
rankings
was
are
wrong.
No,
wrong.
you didn't say my rankings are wrong. You said your rankings are they're wrong in terms of like those aren't your rankings. Like as if like I didn't just say they're my rankings.
We were saying in the off season,
The
like
video,
all last
you-
season. It's
we were
totally
just saying the
different.
video.
Did we rank? Hold up, but did we ever actually rank quarterbacks in the offseason?
What's the next topic?
we did, or we
don't need
did,
to
but
stay
not
on
right
that.
I think we
before the
always
season.
debated who was better, Josh
We
Allen or
did,
Joe
but not
Burrow.
right before the season.
We don't need
Like
to stay on this. What is the
after
next
last season, we
bro?
definitely did. After last season, we definitely.
I would like to, yeah, maybe.
All right, let's talk about week 2 again, though.
Let's-
Let's
yeah.
talk about week 2 again, though. We can stick in the NFC East
Hey,
for
you're
a second.
great, bro. It's all good.
Hey
can
man,
stick
I'm,
it-
Take a
I'm-
deep breath.
I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you trying to take over this damn podcast, bro.
What?
What?
What's going on?
Like literally.
All right. Well,
All right.
I didn't
Well,
think he did that. I
let's
thought
not.
we have debates. You bring up the topic.
We
we're
do,
gonna
but like,
debate it.
so let
We're
me
gonna
give
debate
me
it.
the stage to speak, bro.
Yeah, of course.
We do.
Of course.
Like,
You speak
Of
and
course.
we respond what we think.
All right,
That's
let's
how
bring
you
it
want
back.
the floor? I'll give you the floor back.
I already said what I had to say, but like, if I put the guy, like, if I give a ranking, just let it be that, and we can argue it. But like,
But that's the whole point.
Don't
Like,
tell
you give
me-
a ranking and we can tell you what we did. Like
you
like
can, and
don't
we can
like.
argue about it. But then you can't say, nah, bro, your ranking, that's not your ranking because you
I
never
said
had
your
Dak there.
ranking
And,
is
like,
wrong based
my
off
ranking
the
is
video
right now.
you brought up. The video you made on your personal, which is what you brought up,
Mhm.
was part of this podcasting that you do and helping people. And literally the example you were giving, the reason you made that example was because of you got someone in with the hook. That's where I was saying your ranking was wrong. That was not your actual ranking. Was it
Okay.
not?
nah, it was my ranking.
Oh,
That's what I was trying to
tell
say.
me that wasn't your actual ranking.
It doesn't matter. All right, let's move on though.
It doesn't matter. Let's
Okay.
talk about week 2. The point is not the offseason. Like Felipe said, let's not talk about last season. Let's talk about this
We
season.
can talk
We
about
can
last
still
season.
talk about the NFC East, but let's talk about some of the other teams.
Hey, you got a dub.
Is the NFC East still the best division in football?
I think right now it is.
I think
Managed
it's
2-0. Watch out.
yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's gotten better.
Well, because I think the AFC North was
I also
you had
think
the
it's
AFC
gotten
East
better.
and the AFC North were probably the top 2 outside of the NFC East as well. And AFC East loses Aaron Rodgers. Bills don't look as dominant. Dolphins are.
I mean, NFC West still looks pretty good too. Now the Rams are actually
that is
looking
true.
solid.
That is.
I also
true.
think it's
I
gotten
think
better.
the NFC North maybe looks.
Not to keep talking about the Cowboys, but the Cowboys
Actually,
got a
does.
lot better. The Eagles, I think, are still just as good. The Giants suck, but we don't have to talk about them. The Commanders are better than they were.
Hey,
they
hey,
feel
hey.
better than they were.
All I'm saying, Commanders in the playoffs. Who said it? Me.
You did.
Thank
You did.
What's
You
up?
did.
Well, tomorrow
wrote- you wrote down as
re-rank
All
our
aboard the
predictions.
Halaban, baby.
You did.
Come on.
You wrote down a stat here that the Raiders or that the
this is
Giants
crazy.
have more points than the Raiders do, and the Raiders did score in both games, but the Giants only scored in one of those games.
Yeah, the Raiders stink. The Commanders, I didn't watch. I don't. Did anyone actually watch the Commanders? Can you speak on the Commanders? Can you
No.
speak? I
Didn't watch it.
But they won.
Red Zone didn't show them
But
any
they won
love,
on the
but They
road.
did. They
Or
did.
no, was it that?
Brian Robinson had a game.
Brian
didn't he?
Robinson did.
I had
have
him
a
on my-
touchdowns, I
fucking
think?
game.
I had him on my bench. Well, I also had Mike Evans on my bench.
Oh my
What a rough
god.
week.
I just love that they're calling like Sam Howell's like support
The
group the
Halaban?
Halaban.
How does that happen?
It's so
Is that
good,
big?
How does that
That's
happen?
bro. It's
Halaban?
The
yeah, like the
Halaban,
Taliban.
like the Taliban.
It's so bad.
But why like that? Like why not like
That's funny.
just a howl?
Because you
howling
know what?
wolf?
You already-
Howling wolf.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sam
like,
Howell.
I don't know. You're already the Redskins, so fuck it. Like,
That's true. I
I don't
guess.
know,
I
like-
guess. Well, you're a commander. They also haven't lost since Dan Snyder sold the team. So congrats.
Can we talk about the Giants?
They're
though?
pretty good.
We can talk about the Giants. Yeah, sure. You
What a
stink.
comeback by Daniel Jones.
Damn right.
The moxie and
By the way, I
poise of
saw
that
they
kid.
showed some stat on the screen that it was like the first time the Giants ever came back from 20 points, I think, since like the fucking 60s.
Since 1949 against the Chicago Cardinals.
Hey,
I've never seen that.
we're making history out here.
I think the Giants are overrated.
The
And I will
Giants are
give
not
credit-
over-
The
Giants
Giants are
overrated.
not
I
overrated.
will
If anything,
give-
they're underrated because
hold-
everyone thinks they're shit.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they're
give
definitely not
I'm gonna
overrated.
give credit to Felipe on that because all offseason we were overrating them.
You're saying they're overrated going into the year.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
sure.
fine.
And I still think after 2 weeks, it's not enough to
That's
change
not
it.
even a hot
Therefore, I'm
take.
saying with overrated. So Felipe has been saying it all offseason.
Or,
That I
are-
remember.
honestly, are the Cardinals better than we think, though, low key?
No, the Giants are just worse than
The
we
Giants are
think.
terrible. The Giants defense is fucking hard.
I will say though, Josh
The
Dobbs might
Cardinals,
have been.
the Cardinals hung in there with the Commanders, who we don't know how good they are, but they also hung in there with the Giants. Like,
Yeah, but that's
maybe
the
they're not the
NFL,
worst
right?
team in
Like I
football.
don't know.
Like,
they might not be the worst team in football.
We
but
talked
they're
about
not
that
good.
all
They're
off
worst team in
season,
football.
though. We talked about it all off season, though. Like everyone says, these teams are going to be so fucking bad, but they are grown fucking men. Like they're getting paid to do this. They are talented. Like you're not just going to shit the bed and put up 0 points a game. Like the days of that happening in the NFL, I think are done. Now you may not win many games, but you could surely be competitive, and I think that's what the Cardinals are. They may not win games, but they're going to put up
they're
points. When we had the conversation over like who's going to be the lowest scoring team, like yes, it was Cardinals, but like I didn't feel very strongly about the Cardinals. I could see them being in fucking shootouts, which is kind of what it was with the
Dobbs,
Giants.
You really thought with Josh Dobbs they're going to be in shootouts?
It's not about shootouts winning games. It's more about just being competitive, putting up garbage time points. And I could see the Cardinals doing it. That's what they did against the Giants. Well, not even garbage time. They were obviously winning. But I don't know. I don't think the Cardinals are that bad.
I think the Giants are.
I think the Giants are. That's
I'm
yeah,
so
I think
upset.
they're overrated.
I still like great win, good win. You know, like Daniel Jones played all right in the second half. Fucking obviously Saquon rolls his ankle on the last play of the
Dude, yeah,
game.
of course.
Like the most such fucking
looked
bullshit.
bad.
It was rough.
They
I
said
mean,
a sprain.
yeah, no, he'll be fine. I doubt he'll play Thursday night. Or I hope he doesn't play.
Yeah, you hope
honestly.
he
I hope he
doesn't.
does not play.
Yeah,
I want
you
him to
hope
not
Against
play.
that
Who do
defense,
you
too?
guys play the
Niners on
Oh,
Thursday night
yeah.
football.
Good
Which
luck.
is, by the way, always kind of a poor performance night. Thursday night,
is.
short week,
For
not
both
enough
teams.
prep. Both teams, doesn't matter how good you are of a team, you always have bad teams.
Well,
What?
who's the letdown?
Who's the letdown? Who's the bounce back? Yeah, what are we
That's a good
doing
point.
here? Both of them won.
both of
I'd
them?
say that they're both in a letdown situation. Rivalry
Well,
win for the Niners, comeback win against a great Cardinals team.
I feel like the Giants are down. They're down, even though they won. They're pretty bad.
Someone commented Felipe's about to knock out Adam with his chin.
Yeah, that's true.
I could
You
use
okay,
it as a
bro?
weapon.
He's
I think
quiet.
you
You
guys that
okay, bro?
Bengals fan yesterday with the headbutt.
Oh my
bro.
god!
Oh my
That was
god,
crazy.
shit was nuts.
That was insane.
Yo, by the way, while
How
Adam,
do you
while-
perform a headbutt and not hurt yourself?
Did he headbutt a rando
No, I
though,
think
or was
he-
that
I'm
the guy he was
sure he
fighting
has
beforehand?
CTE.
I think it was the guy who was
also
egging him on.
another Bengals fan.
I'm sure he
Yeah,
has
that's
CTE.
crazy.
I'm
By the
sure
way,
he heard us.
real quick, while Adam brings up the comments, we are live on YouTube, TikTok, and some other places, probably Twitter and Facebook as well. So if you're listening to the podcast, we're going to be live every Monday and Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So be sure to tune into those. Get in the comments with us.
Yes.
Friendship. People are saying friendship. People are noticing.
Yeah,
Like,
friendship.
come on, we're all good, bro.
All right, let's
just
talk about
argued.
the
Yes.
Rookie of the Year.
I'll kiss you. Can
Nah,
I?
nah.
Okay.
No,
that went too high.
no.
Nah, please don't.
No.
That's for sure.
All right.
Nah, it's
Jeez.
Hey, Jack,
What's up?
who's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Oh, say it on three. 1, 2, 3.
Puka Nacua.
It's always been Puka, bro.
God, it was
Good.
always Puka.
But
Are we-
Bijan played very well yesterday.
Yeah, Bijan also.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
but Texas.
But it could be.
That's true.
You gotta think about Texas.
Puka Nacua, first, I think most receptions over the first 2 games in NFL history.
Look
Bro,
at that.
he's got 24.
Look at that.
Danny Rojas.
Danny Rojas.
It's Danny Rojas.
How the hell is that?
I also got that
Look
one
at
over there
look at that
too.
guy. How the fuck is he
Look
the
at this
best
one,
wide
too.
receiver in football?
Look at that photo as well. If you're
Oh.
just listening to the pod, go to our YouTube and look at
Good
these
jaw
photos.
line.
He does.
Good facial
Good
structure.
jaw line. Puka's a guy like Felipe was watching highlights before. Puka's a guy that is not doing anything special. He's just a big body, and
Stafford's finding him.
Stafford's feeding him. Stafford force feeds wide receivers. That's the moral of the story.
Puka
Stafford
literally,
creates
like,
wide receivers.
He just finds the open space or goes to the sticks and just catches the ball.
Bro, we gotta
That's
get
all he
that. We
does.
gotta get that man on the pod.
Puka,
Oh my
fucking
God,
boy.
yeah.
Hey, the Puka shirt's coming in next week. Or
Yeah,
no,
we do.
tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow.
The later, the longer we wait, the harder it's gonna be, man.
I know he's
No.
gonna blow up.
Matthew Stafford still remains the wide receiver creator, though. and this is a stat. Matthew Stafford was behind the best wide receiver season ever with Cooper Kupp. He was behind the second best wide receiver season with Calvin Johnson. Kenny Golladay was the top 10 wide receiver twice. Golden Tate had a 1,300-yard season in 2014. Marvin Jones had 3 9-touchdown seasons. Tutu Atwell winning at the NFL level is literally a stat that someone put in this.
Tutu Atwell being
And then
good.
Puka Nacua being the best fantasy wide receiver in NFL right now.
Is he?
Yes, right now.
Oh, yeah, by a
Damn.
mile.
Yeah, he is the wide receiver 1 right now.
I
Not wide receiver 1, but like he's
Okay, but
he is
realistically,
a wide receiver 1.
I know that we're biased here about Puka
No.
Nacua. Realistically, who's more likely to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, Bijan Robinson or Puka Nacua?
Puka Nacua?
Puka Nacua.
Probably Bijan.
No, definitely Bijan. Because Cooper Kupp's going to come back at some point and steal all those targets. But for right now, give me fucking Puka all day.
Well, I don't agree with that though, because I think he takes like Tutu Atwell's targets. But like if Cooper Kupp's a guy that is going to be fed no matter what, Puka can benefit from
But
Cooper Kupp being in.
Kupp is a
Yeah, but what? It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
Not
but Puka's
saying
got
anything.
talent. All right, he's playing well. Good
Like,
for him.
what's different between Cooper Kupp taking away from Puka Nacua,
Cooper Kupp.
Puka
Puka
Cooper
Cooper
Kupp,
Kupp?
and Tyler Algier taking away from Bijan Robinson? They're one and the same almost.
Bijan will get more carries and opportunities as the year goes on, though, I feel like. And they'll have Algier.
Yeah, of
slimming it
course,
down.
but I don't know. Bijan obviously is more likely to win the fucking award, but that's no fun. Give it to Puka.
You betting on it right now? What are you betting on?
Puka, because the odds are probably
Probably
insane.
longer.
Actually, the odds probably stink right now.
Yeah, they might. No, it's only 2 weeks.
CJ Stroud threw for 330, something like that yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, a couple
The
touchdowns.
quietest of quiets.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
they were also down the entire game.
Yeah, garbage. time.
300 plus yards too.
Yeah,
All right,
very
last
good.
my last topic.
Wait,
of the-
I have a topic off that with the Rams, which don't know why we're not talking about the Niners. We're only talking about the Rams after they lost by just about 10, but anyway.
No, that's
it's
by
fine.
7 because
But
Sean McVay kicked the
Matt
field goal.
is like legitimately like I feel like everyone forgot about Matt Stafford. I want you
Yes.
to rank these three NFC quarterbacks for me, okay? Matt Stafford, Jalen Hurts, and Dak Prescott.
I mean, I'll rank them Dak, Stafford, Hurts.
Yeah.
I think Hurts has regressed a lot this year
I'm
so far.
kind of with it. I think I
might go the
Stafford,
same.
Dak Hurts, but like you can interchange. Stafford,
I don't know if
people
I
forgot
can put
he is.
Stafford one.
People forgot how good Matt Stafford is when he's fully healthy.
Agree.
He's great.
But
I'm-
just
I'm still gonna go
because
Hurts,
Jalen
Dak,
Hurts is
Stafford.
starting poorly. It's so hard for me to do.
Yeah, same.
so
I'm still
hard.
gonna go
That's
Hurts,
why I
Dak,
asked
No, it's a
Stafford.
great
question.
question. It's a fantastic question, and
So-
it's a thought-provoking one.
That's kind of the point.
I'll still go the 3 that you would think I'd say in Jalen, Dak, Stafford.
Yeah, same.
However,
Why Stafford 3?
because he missed the entire season last year, and Stafford kind of tends to start out hot, and then the elbow begins to fail him. So if he could do this for an entire season
He's an
again,
old
but like
man.
he's an old fart.
He's a
However, I
daddy.
think his rushing yards,
He looked
his
mobile
rushing yards,
yesterday, though.
yeah, his
Like,
rushing prop
yeah.
was like 3.5. He had like 12 in the first
he-
quarter. It was doing-
Stafford in the first half yesterday was fucking cooking, and then when they were down, he was just forcing.
Stafford, though, I will say, is someone that everyone forgot about in the top 10 quarterback rankings. Like so many
Yeah.
people never
Draw of
wanted to
Famer Matt
put
Stafford.
him in
No,
there.
someone in this offseason, one of our guests put him there. Maybe it was Trey or
I think it was either Trey,
Or Emmanuel,
Acho,
yeah.
someone.
Someone did, yeah.
But Stafford is a Stafford.
and we were all like, "Oh, yeah, good take."
I feel like Stafford has like the best argument outside of like Deshaun to be around like that 8, 9, 10, 11 spot. Like in terms of
Mhm.
like body of work.
Kirk,
Mhm.
you put Kirk there.
I'll take Stafford over Kirk any day.
I would too, but I still
Gino?
think Kirk has more of an argument than Deshaun.
I'll take
Watson right
Stafford
now.
over Gino.
Yeah,
100%.
Let's talk about other quarterbacks. Last NFC topic. Is Justin Fields a quarterback for Chicago
oh,
for the future?
for Felipe's dynasty team.
Yeah, let's talk Felipe.
I hope so, but like I don't think they're giving him enough. I thought like they improved in the offseason. The offensive line was supposed to be better. It looks terrible still. He didn't have much time to throw. He's also holding on to the ball too long. So does Joe Burrow always. And so they're doing, but I'm saying like Joe Burrow has also
Yeah, he does. He has been doing that a
has
lot.
had bad problems with the offensive line as
Yeah.
well.
You need to read
Right. So
quickly.
given that,
And-
you have
but
to
get-
get rid of the ball quickly.
But still, obviously Burrow's had a lot more talent to deal with. And they're not close. Justin Fields shouldn't even be compared to Joe Burrow. But I'm just saying situation-wise, holding on to the ball too long, no pass protection. Very similar. And Fields just, I don't think he has enough help. Like, but he sucks at the same time. So.
I don't think he's seen the field well, though.
I
like
think he's just a terrible decision maker. I
Like
don't
he
think knows
looks
what
like
he's
he
doing.
regressed though after like the Justin Fields over the back half of the season last year was better than the Justin Fields right now. You're
Well,
supposed to
he
take a lead.
was a better fantasy player.
Yeah, he
No,
was a
but
good
even
rusher.
pass
Like,
pro,
yeah.
there was a play from yesterday's game against the Bucks where he had 3 guys open and there was a safety and like there were 2 safeties. One was over the middle and one was like deep fucking far right, and he had 3 guys open. I'm just like trying to visualize it.
And he missed them
And
all.
he didn't even he had 3 guys he could have force fed. Like make the throw, he decided to like run and get
Not
sacked.
even force fed. It sounds like he just could
I
have
was-
put it there.
I was gonna say with his
Could have put it there, but he's not even trusting his eyes. So
it seems like if the first read's not there, he just like panics and tries to run, scramble, and figure something out. Like
yeah, I don't know. Like I think Justin Fields is the guy in Chicago. I do think Justin Fields is a talented quarterback. I do think at Ohio State, this guy there was a reason he was a Heisman candidate. Yeah. So, but with that being said, like stop trusting your legs so much and just play quarterback.
I don't think it's that. I think he's rattled.
Yeah.
From what like standpoint is he rattled?
If he's not even looking at his receivers, he's not even like trusting progressions.
Yeah.
But he's he's staying in the pocket for so long. What I saw a lot yesterday wasn't him getting out and running immediately. It was him taking fucking terrible sacks.
Yeah.
That's why I say Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow's taking terrible sacks before, and he's doing the same thing. So it's just that one-to-one
There was
comparison.
one play I saw of him where he was just holding onto the
I
ball
gotta
for like
find that
4
play.
seconds. Shout out our friend of the pod, Joel, posted this little video saying that he was like a bottom 5 quarterback after this play. He was just in the pocket for so long, and then he tries to scramble because he knows, oh, that's the only thing I'm good at. So he runs right into the offensive line, and then everything already was collapsing.
That was the play.
So
where he
I
had
was just-
people open.
It was a good take by Joel because that was like the perfect epitome of what was going wrong.
Shout out
with Justin
Joel.
Fields.
I
Smart
wonder
guy.
if it's something with Justin Fields where like obviously like all your life you're the number one rated prospect in the country coming out of high school. You go to Ohio, like you go to Georgia, but then you have to transfer because they do pick Jake Fromm, whatever. You go to Ohio State, you're that fucking guy, like you're up for the Heisman and everything, and then you go to Chicago and you got no weapons, not shit. You kind of suck. Like mentally, that's gotta be fucking hard on him.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably panicking. Like
Yeah,
crazy.
but top 5, CJ Stroud.
He currently and Justin Fields, I think I sent the stat in our group chat, but like that Justin Fields has like on throws, maybe it was Herbert one actually. Justin Fields has more incompletions than completions this year when he has more than 3 seconds to throw. Think about that for a
That's
second.
bad.
Hold on. I need
Justin
some
Fields
math.
has more incompletions
When he
than
has more
incompletions
yeah,
where
yeah.
someone doesn't get
So
the
when
ball.
he takes more
When he has
time,
more
he's
time-
completing it less often.
Yeah, isn't like the average time to throw in the NFL like under 2 seconds?
Yeah,
or
something like
something?
But that's what I'm saying. He's holding the ball too long, and he's a lot of times he's staying in the pocket. It'd probably be more beneficial for him to take off after 2 seconds
Yeah.
than it would be to just go
Yeah,
through
I
the
was
progression.
thinking like if the first read's not there, just fucking run.
His
Which is
defense
normally
also
you wouldn't
bad.
advise that, but
The offensive line is
But
also bad.
Is it also
Defense
it's
bad.
also like a schematically thing? Like are they just like because if you see what a lot of offensive coordinators do with younger quarterbacks is they have like super quick plays where they get the ball in their hands like ASAP.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Bears are not doing that. at
Dude,
all.
we were
Like-
wrong about the Bears. I gotta say,
I was
know
wrong about the
we
Bears.
were
I had them winning
saying
the fucking division.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Ah,
I
dude, that was
don't
bad.
remember who it was, but yeah, you did have the
Not the guy
winning
wearing
like,
the Chicago Cubs shirt.
I
saying the
do.
Bears.
The only reason I'll disagree is the small sample size I've seen of like the videos going around on social, and he has people open. He's just not trusting it, like Lisa said. So like, I don't think schematically it's on Justin Fields right now. Like he needs to be a better fucking quarterback. Plain and simple. That's it. Now defense has been bad, offensive line bad. All these things are bad, but like that pick 6 when you're down 3,
That
you
was-
can go win the
that was
game
so
in your own.
bad.
That was terrible. Like they reckless. That was some Josh Allen type shit. So
Josh Allen rookie year type shit.
yeah, I
I,
don't know. They might do it this year.
I do want to bring it over to the AFC now, and while we're on the
Please.
topic, let's talk about the Bengals. Do we think that the NFL teams have just entirely figured out the Bengals?
I feel like they're the
Bengals suck.
The
They
Bengals
look
like
horrible.
game plan offensively is the most boring shit I've ever seen.
Yes.
It's running back swing passes. It's when you get close to the red zone, just fucking throw it to Jamar, see what happens, or T. Higgins. Like, it's boring as fuck. You would run a fucking halfback dive in between the guards every single time you run the football with Joe Mixon.
Looks
It's just-
It's boring. It's
looks
terrible.
so cozy.
It's predictable.
cold,
Yeah, it's
bro.
No,
cold
but
as
that,
shit.
this
today.
blanket is soft as
That
fuck.
looks
nipples
so
are
Is that
so
the TikTok
my nipples are
version?
so
The
hard right
TikTok?
now.
Are you nipping? Yeah.
I think the
Cover 'em.
Bengals
Count,
offense.
boy.
I think the Bengals are just a predictable team.
Yeah.
Like, and
How so?
we had
We're
your
talking
friends.
about
How so?
Yeah,
How so? You saying
because we had one of Jack's friends in the office. She's a Bengals fan yesterday watching the game with us. And so she was saying this. This is a Bengals fan saying it, that if you look at the offense from the Super Bowl and the offense now, it feels the exact same. There's no creative, adaptations to the NFL, like in terms of scheming people open. Jamar Chase, it's a go ball inside the end zone. It's fucking throw it up to Jamar, back shoulder fade. Either you dump it off to Joe Mixon out of the backfield and he does a little hop, skip to my Lou. See Higgins there, Tyler Boyd in the flats. Like it's the same thing over and over again. And you have so many weapons. So at first it was like fun. They had swag. They were playing like freely and they were throwing it up and like pure hooper. I know I always use that term, but like they felt like they were hooping. Now it just feels like defenses have figured them out. It's the same game plan over
So
and over.
what needs to
I feel
change?
like
I don't
feel like
fucking
Joe
know.
Burrow lost whatever some type of balls that he had. So he used to be able to like say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna throw it in tight windows, do all this shit." It took him like 3.5 quarters yesterday to start trying to make those throws that he can make, like these insanely hard throws.
Right, that we've seen him do.
You think it's fair? Like, I know so many people are going to come back and be like, the calf. He's hurt. He didn't have an off season. He didn't have training camp.
Plays hurt all year, every year. Yeah, like no quarterback is ever fully healthy.
You think Zach Taylor's holding them back?
I think Zach Taylor's the reason the Bengals aren't playing as well as they should right now.
Yeah,
Zach Taylor's been holding them back. He's one of the worst play callers in the fucking NFL.
Right,
he's just very lucky to have awesome talent.
That goes into what you were saying of like they need to change shit up.
Yeah,
that's
just
on the coach.
Like, you said like what needs to change. Like, I don't fucking know. I'm not an expert. I'm literally talking out of my fucking ass right now. I just think when I look at the Bengals, it just feels boring. They have so much talent.
Felipe, football player.
You've always shit on the Bengals. You've always shit on, or at least Joe Burrow. Like, what you got?
Bengals. Yeah, well, they're. Well, look, to answer your question, I'm not worried about them. They started off bad last year. They'll be all right. It's the same shit. They are boring, but they're a good team.
You were saying also before this season that Jamar Chase is kind of one-dimensional. He's just a go ball guy.
I like Jamar a lot. I think he was more on the one-dimensional Jamar.
Yeah, that was me.
But
sorry.
Yeah, they're boring. They do the same thing. I mean, what I did say is that what bailed them out a few times in the playoffs is the same thing. A go ball to Jamar Chase, and at some point, that's not going to work. It worked last year. It actually didn't work against the Chiefs. It kept them in the game against the Chiefs, but they ended up losing still. But they are predictable and they're boring. They probably need offensive schematics to change. Like when you look at Dallas, obviously you go from Kellen Moore to Mike McCarthy. You see the difference it makes because Dak's getting rid of the ball way quicker instead of just relying your players to win one-on-one. Your quarterback holds on to the ball too long, and you have to make tough decisions. Joe Burrow is having to do. They're just relying on your guys to win. Like you need to scheme your guys. Like Brock Purdy's be able to have success like week 1, last pick in the draft. He wasn't more talented than the other guys.
Absolutely
but you put him in a system that allows him to thrive. Same with Tua. And Joe Burrow doesn't have that. He's just having to be better than other guys. We saw Dak Prescott fail at doing that. Like that season, he broke his ankle. He was throwing for 500 yards. He was on pace for 6,000 yards. That wasn't winning football, though. So you can't have a quarterback, try to be Superman. That's what Joe Burrow is having to be right now. And like they just need a better offense.
It's tough too when you have no offensive line or anything. It's that it's like, why are you not scheming up plays to get the balls in your hands for your like most talented receivers or playmakers like quick? I feel like everything is so slow developing with the Bengals.
But I feel like that's the Zach Taylor issue because they are scheming them. It's just that what the scheme is a back shoulder fade to Jamar or dumping it off to the flats.
Or it's like Joe Mixon in the flat.
Yeah, but that's not scheming. That's expecting your guy to be better than your opponent. But it's like, that's what Kellen Moore did. That's what Kellen Moore did. It was like,
just win the one-on-one.
And that's why it didn't work last year for the Cowboys. I'm sorry, I'm bringing it to Cowboys, but that's what I watched the most. So CD, I mean, he can beat his guy because he's better than most defenders. But the other guys can't beat their new guy. And so all you got is like, Michael Gallup coming off of ACL. Like, that's not going to happen. And that's what the Bengals are doing. Like, T. Higgins has to be better than his guy. Jamar can be better than his guy. And because they're so fucking talented, they can win like that. But at some point, it's just not, it's not sustainable.
But that's where I come back to.
It's not had an offensive mind like a McVay or like someone just so creative.
McDaniel.
Like, dude, look what McVay's doing fucking Puka Nacua.
No, it's true.
Two hats well. Like,
I mentioned Tua. That's a great system.
It's fucking nuts. Like, it just, if the Bengals had some, I don't know, Zach Taylor's got to relinquish control and see what can happen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You saw how different the Giants looked as soon as Brian Dable said, "Fuck it, I'm taking the reins" in the second half, calling plays.
Yeah,
it was totally.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened. I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, good shit, Brian Dable.
Brian Dable needs to do that in general. He's insane.
I agree.
Bengals have a creativity problem.
Yeah, it
feels like.
Yeah. And they also just feel like they're just not playing fun anymore. They don't have that swag.
That's what
doesn't feel like it at least.
That's my friend was saying yesterday too. She's like literally like no one looks like they're having fun out there. Like, they literally.
Well, granted, at 0-2, you're not having fun. Sure,
they're like a dude with ED. They just can't get it up. Yeah, like, it's just not a thing. You know?
Who'd they beat week 1?
No, they lost to the Browns.
I mean, sorry, who they lost to the
Browns. And the Browns didn't.
They never play well in division games, though. That's one thing to keep in mind.
And also the AFC North in general is just a fucking dogfight.
Yeah,
like starting with 2 divisional games in a row is hard.
But Lamar looks good. You want to go to the
I
other
think
side
I saw this. Like Lamar, I think is 9 and
God.
Lamar didn't even look great. Lamar is 9-2 against the Bengals. He owns the Bengals, and so the Bengals just like, I'm not going to judge their season based off how they play against the AFC North. Granted, you should try to beat your division. They weirdly
do play really bad.
They suck against the division, and so like they're probably going to bounce back. But yeah, Lamar can't beat the Ravens and Lamar.
Bro, Lamar scares the shit out of me the way he was playing yesterday. Like he's
How
gonna
so?
get hurt eventually at some point again. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
know how to fucking slide or anything.
All right, I lied. 7-1. Dominance is the same.
Okay, that's really
Lamar
good.
7-1 against the Bengals.
Yeah,
Damn.
but I don't like the Bengals. I don't remember who they opened up against last year, but they lost.
They
You
lost
had
to the Steelers.
it was the
and then,
Steelers. They lost to the Cowboys,
with
right?
Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
Rush.
it was Steelers and Cowboys.
Like I get that
Well,
they don't
Cooper
play,
Rush, elite
play well
Yeah.
against their division, but unfortunately their division has some of the best teams in the AFC, and so you have to win some of these games. I know it's fucking early, and I think they will be fine because of the talent, and you bet on talent, but they just got to figure it the fuck out. They don't look like they're having fun.
Let's talk about other coaches. You were just talking about Zach Taylor not being a great coach. Let's talk about the Broncos for a second.
Oh my god,
Bro,
Do we-
Sean Payton's
At
the
what-
resigned.
Broncos traded a
At
first
what
round pick
point-
to get
at
fucking
what-
dog walked 2 weeks in a row by the Raiders and Commanders. by
At
Jimmy
what
G and
point
Sam Howell.
should Sean Payton just give up?
Now yesterday.
Yeah.
Sean Payton's it was Marcus
So
Mosher who
funny.
said Russell Wilson's going to get benched mid-year.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good take.
Great take.
Now, granted, he played better. I'll give Russ credit. He played better. But Sean Payton, Sean Payton is supposed to be this guru. The fuck are you guruing? They look bad. The defense got worse.
The Broncos might be one of the worst teams in football that we're not even talking about as being one of the worst teams. Like they just lost to Jimmy G and Sam Howell.
True.
Well, hey, relax.
home.
The Howell band
Both at
would
home.
Not take that
Halaban?
lightly.
Oh, the Howell band. Sorry, the Howell band. I'm a member of the Howell band.
Howell band.
Howell band.
Howell band.
Halaban.
It doesn't have a
It
good
actually
ring to
comes
it.
off. No, Howell band.
Howell band.
Like
Ah.
say
It
the
doesn't sound
name.
great.
Anyway,
Halaban.
the Broncos. You were saying they're bad?
The Broncos are
Bad.
maybe
Bad.
hot take. Broncos worst team in football. I don't know.
It could be.
Could be.
You know what's interesting about the Broncos? It feels very similar to like Aaron Rodgers of last year, somewhat of Tom Brady when he kind of was dealing with
Last
the
year.
divorce of last year, where like when you don't fuck with your quarterback, your team doesn't play well. What a surprise. And I feel like for the second year in a row, now granted, we haven't heard to the same extent of people not liking Russ, but last year it all came out that people didn't like Russ when all the shit was hitting the fan. Last year with Aaron Rodgers, when he was injured, he's talking out about your rookies. Like Jordan Love and this team, they may have lost to the Falcons, but they look damn good. They look like they
And
can move the
everyone
ball,
loves him.
and he's doing it without Christian Watson, without Aaron Jones. People like Jordan Love. This year, at least Baker, like they're 2-0. It's a pretty
Baker looks
similar
good.
team. Like they didn't really lose many pieces other than Ryan Jensen, who's their center. Like I could be missing people, but it just feels like when a team doesn't fuck with your quarterback, your team is naturally not going to play well. And that's just the biggest issue with Denver, is what it feels
Bro,
like.
Russell Wilson really took his headshot with fucking eye black on.
Did
Just
he?
think about that. Whoever does
Did he?
that, yes.
I didn't know that.
Look at his team picture this year, like whatever his one on ESPN
Yeah,
is.
that's not great.
He has fucking eye black on.
Wait, I
it's-
got it.
It's the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I can't get it. I'm trying to find it.
I
No.
saw it on Twitter yesterday. It's fucking.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
he
Oh, yeah.
does.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
and
but it
you're on
could've-
ESPN, right?
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
never
but it
seen
could have
that
been really
before.
sunny in there.
Maybe the lights. The lights
Yeah,
might have
man,
been
the
really.
lights.
Who puts on eye black for their fucking picture?
It's spicy.
Oh my
Maybe we
God.
should start wearing it 'cause of these
Broncos
lights.
So,
country.
do you think Sean
Let's
Payton?
die.
Like, I don't know.
Nah, you shouldn't get fired mid-year.
No, he's resigned. And Sean Payton is
Oh,
from
that's
an
fucked
ego
up, though. You
standpoint-
also can't do
Sean
that.
Payton from an ego standpoint feels like Urban Meyer. Like a
Yeah.
guy that is going to like,
Yeah.
I've done it at a different level. I've done it elsewhere. Like it's my way or the fucking highway. And it wouldn't shock me if he would have happened to go out. I could see Sean Payton resigning before he gets ever fired.
I don't think he should
Yeah.
resign though,
His
because
term.
that would look
Should.
terrible.
It's early.
They traded a first-round pick for you, right? Was it a first round?
First rounder.
Bro, you want to
So
compile?
they traded a first-round pick, and then like you come, like you at least got to finish the season.
I
Yeah,
think
I
he
agree.
does,
I
obviously.
agree.
But like
I
hot
agree.
take, overreaction Monday. That dude's gone.
Like you can never show face in Denver ever again
There's
if you
no way
resign.
that man gives.
At
a
least try
fly.
to fight for something.
How many first round picks did the Broncos give up for Sean Payton and Russ?
That sucks.
I think
That's
three.
crazy.
It's a disaster.
No, I
There are
think it's
so many
more.
comparisons though that come to mind of like the Sean Payton, Russell Wilson scenario of like obviously the biggest comp with Russ was Drew Brees as being like the short quarterback who could win. It was good, right?
Yeah.
And Sean Payton obviously coached Drew Brees, but now we're also seeing that he can't be successful without Drew Brees, right? Sean Payton can't be successful without Drew Brees. That kind of reminds me also of like Bill Belichick with Tom Brady, of like we thought this was the duo, and it was like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, Sean Payton and Drew Brees. And then the quarterback isn't there, and the quarterback is really the one who actually was the impact.
Good
And to
take.
me, that's like
Good take.
it's a very similar comparison of like how much is a coach actually doing, where we know we've talked
And
about
you-
this all the
You
time.
could say,
Quarterback is the most important person
you
on
could
your
say the
team.
opposite of Russell Wilson and
And
Pete Carroll too.
Yeah.
where Pete Carroll made Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson, as soon as he leaves,
That's true.
Shit.
So,
And look what he did to Geno Smith, too. Geno Smith's great.
What? Wait, hold on.
I hate to say he balled out. He balled out. Don't clip that. Fucking take it out.
I was gonna say.
Don't clip that.
I was gonna say.
Still have the best
What did he
quarterback in the
say?
NFC West. Third best quarterback in the NFC West.
Oh,
Maybe fourth.
man.
Josh Allen's balling, but
Josh Allen, well,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Imagine if he had eyebrows.
whew.
Talk about great quarterbacks. Is Josh Allen still the second best quarterback
I
in
thought
the
he was about to
league?
say on the field.
I
I thought he was about to talk about on the field guy.
No.
Oh no, I thought he was going to talk
Josh
about.
Allen?
What about him?
Is he still the second best quarterback in the league?
He was never the second best quarterback in the league.
He was always the second. Josh Allen was always the second best quarterback in the league.
No, well, not for me.
I mean, Josh Allen's playing better than Joe Burrow.
Not saying much.
Felipe's turning back and forth. What do we
I
got?
like. I'm liking the conversation.
I mean, Josh Allen, and I said it. We argued about it on the podcast yesterday. I'm going to keep saying it. It's the number one reason I defend Dak. It's the number, like, everyone points to the turnovers, and I get it. It is an issue. It's erratic behavior. But until those turnovers are the reason you lose games, and they lost 3 games last year, then you can't point at the turnovers as to being like this biggest mistake. Matthew Stafford led the NFL in INTs, and they won the Super Bowl. Now, granted, they lost 3 games last year. Now, granted, week 1 against the Jets, that is a loss to Josh Allen, right? Quarterback wins are a quarterback stat sometimes. That's a loss to Josh Allen. I'm changing my tune. I learned.
Sometimes.
So Josh Allen is a guy, like, the reason you can't say it with Dak, right? Dak is a guy that, yes, he might have turnovers, but how many games did they lose last year? 4? They're not losing games because of the turnovers. So with Josh Allen, you lose 3 games last year. With Dak, you lose 4 games last year. Stop pointing at the fucking turnovers as if like this is the number one reason as why he should be lower than a Joe Burrow or he should be put down. But the Jets game, if that performance happens and keeps happening, then we could have a real conversation. But I don't think Josh Allen's overrated, and I don't think he's any worse than the second best quarterback in the NFL right now.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we already talked about my rankings. So I didn't have him last week at 2. I don't have him this week at 2. But I think
Still got Lawrence at 2, right?
I had Trevor at 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have him at 3. Josh to me is other guys have kind of like started to jump in his realm a little bit. Like Trevor, I think has passed him, but he's had playoff success over everybody else. So if we're looking at like full careers and everything, the only guy that has had, we talked about this yesterday, the only guy that has had any type of playoff success is that is quarterbacking in the NFL right now is Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen. Like, and Joe Burrow has won, but like statistical success, you got to take Joe Burrow out because he hasn't performed like the same way Josh Allen has. And so I'll give Josh Allen that and all that, but like weighing everything else and just being 2 week overreactions, I like some other guys.
I will say, like, as much as I still will put Joe Burrow above Josh Allen because I think Joe Burrow consistently plays better, Josh Allen at his peak is no one's even close to him at that second spot. Josh Allen at his peak is easily the second best quarterback in the league. It's just his low games, like that game.
His lows are really low.
Really low. You just ride the wave with him. Like that's
ain't
what
no
you do
mountain
if you're a
high,
Bills fan.
ain't no valley low.
Like Josh Allen's a guy that
no
can
river wide enough.
Josh Allen's probably one of the top 4 quarterbacks any given week, but he could also. The thing is, like, I don't know.
He's inconsistent.
He's so inconsistent. That's why I have him lower.
You want to know my favorite part about this conversation? Is because Josh Allen could be the number 2 quarterback in the NFL, but the second best quarterback in his division. Isn't that funny? Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Because
what was Josh Allen's stat line this week?
Fuck if I care.
I care.
Adam, why is that? Is that because Tua?
Yeah, that's because Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback in the AFC. So that's why I said it. Do something about it. Say it. Do something. Someone do something. Anything. I'm trying to pull up the stat. ESPN's taking a while.
In our group chat last night, he's just like talking about the Dolphins all fucking night. I'm like, yeah, how about Niner legend River Craycraft?
I mean, of course, Niner
after
legend.
after the halftime interview with Mike McDaniel, he just texted us, someone say something. After Mike McDaniel's great, it was honestly a legendary interview.
Why?
It was hilarious. He was just like fucking goofy, and they asked him questions. They were like, "How much did you have to impact this game?" And he was like, "I did fucking nothing. I was just standing there. All the players played." And then afterwards, he like jogged to the locker room, and then
you know how
the
like
camera followed him.
Yeah. Hey,
someone with him like spread to the locker room goes, "That's a man that hasn't nicotine since before the game started." And still
yeah, but also, and I didn't know this about him that I guess he's been sober since 2016 because I guess like he almost lost his career because of alcoholism. So like,
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know that about
I was
Mike
like, he's just a
McDaniel.
big Nick
He's just
guy.
probably a big Nick guy. Could be smoking weed. I don't know,
Sure, yeah.
but it's certainly
Love
not
seeing some
alcohol.
I do want to.
Josh Allen's stat line was 31 of 37, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns,
31 of 37 is
79.5
Was Dak the
QBR.
same?
31 to 38,
Yeah, it's insane.
I believe.
And I think Josh Allen didn't even play the fourth because they were blowing them out.
Yeah, damn.
But it's not that cool because Tua's cooler.
damn,
You know?
damn. You want to talk about the Dolphins? Shall we?
I mean, what do you want me to say? The Dolphins are the best team in the AFC. What do you want me to say?
Tua tried to Tua it a little bit.
He did try,
He tried
a
to
little.
Tua it.
However, there is something
How so?
to be said.
That horrible pick, he threw like 80 yards downfield.
Yeah, look,
What was that?
We can't push it 80 yards. 40 to
80's too
50
far.
is where
80's
we
too far.
succeed, and it's okay because I'd rather take a gritty win like
He
that.
tried to
You
throw
know,
like
the
10 to
shit
30.
out of that ball though.
10 to 30. That's
Well-
Tua's sweet spot.
sure, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I'd rather take a gritty win where your two best weapons are basically taken off the field from Bill Belichick. They had 3 safeties the entire game, so then you're forced to run the ball a lot
Who,
more.
The Pats?
Yeah, they literally put 3 safeties back there because they were saying we're not going to let Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle beat you. So you're forced to run the ball. Raheem Mostert
Ball
has
out.
himself a
dominating.
game,
Yeah.
you know, and the
Dominating.
offensive line who's missing Teron Armstead, who's literally like the Dolphins were missing 2 of their best players on the line
River
on both
Craycraft
sides.
was there.
Well, Braxton Barris, I think, had a better game than Niner legend
Braxton
River
played really
Craycraft.
well.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something to be said about being able to win in New England on the road, prime time. Like,
But you've been saying all offseason that the Patriots are by far the worst team in the AFCs. Why is that? Doesn't mean that
because
much.
a
Well,
Bill
no, but-
Belichick-led team is always going to come to
That's
play
what I
on
was
a
about to
defensive
say.
side of the ball, especially in
Yeah.
prime time, and a team that
I'm
just held
using
Jalen
I'm just
Hurts.
using your argument against
No,
you,
sure,
that's
sure,
what
and
I'm
I'm
doing.
countering.
I was
my
going to say
argument.
that too. Did you see that scene? Did any of you finish quarterback ever?
No.
Okay, well, there's a scene in quarterback where Patrick Mahomes is game planning for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And he's talking to the camera about how the Patriots are the hardest team to game plan against.
Mm.
It's them and the Titans.
Interesting.
Because-
Vrabel is a
Vrabel's an amazing defensive mind, and Belichick is like the
Belichick.
best. He said, you play against the Patriots, they will throw. If you play against them once, they're going to throw one thing at you. The second time, they will throw none of what they threw at you last time.
That's crazy.
So they're like one of the hardest teams to play against. So kudos
Yeah.
to the
and
Dolphins.
Vrabel's a product of Belichick.
Exactly.
yeah.
Also,
So it's
like,
an interesting thing. So now I think about the Patriots every time we were saying Patriots was probably the worst team in that division, but I think about their defense differently now because of hearing that from Patrick Mahomes.
I'm also going to use Felipe's logic in this because it applies to Tua. Let's take Jalen Hurts' stat line against the Patriots.
Tread lightly.
No. Let's take Jalen Hurts' stat line against the Patriots. Worse than Tua's. Same defense. Tua has a better stat line, and yet his 2 best weapons were basically taken off the field. I'm just saying
What was Tua's
I
stat
do
line?
think
Tua's a
Tua's
better
better.
quarterback than Jalen Hurts
I
right now.
think so. And I didn't think so in the offseason, but I,
really
think
can't
so
kiss-
now.
I really
Is
can't
that
kiss
legal?
you. Yes, that's of
Yes.
course legal, but I
All
can't
right.
kiss you. That's illegal.
That's grounds for kissing if I've ever heard it.
I'm just all I'm saying is so
Adam,
Can
do
I
it.
see? Can I see? Don't kiss him. Don't
No,
kiss
no,
him. He
please
doesn't
don't,
wanna-
please don't, please
Come
don't.
on. He doesn't want to be kissed.
Don't speak
That's
for
not for
Felipe.
everyone, bro. Not everyone went to Jewish summer camp.
Facts.
Oh, what happened to your camp?
Too many things.
What?
Go watch Big Mouth. Adam's pretending he doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Dude, not to the.
I wanted to see
That's a
Tua's stat
hereditary
line.
joke for me, not my camp joke.
Tua's stat line. 21 of 30. Not bad. 249, 1 touchdown, an INT.
Mm.
92 passer rating, 75 QBR. Seen better.
Not Jalen Hurts. against the
Raheem
Patriots.
Mostert, though, only 18 carries for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So do you think Tua actually is better than Hurts?
I think right now Tua is better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Yes.
At this moment,
At this
sure.
moment, currently, yes,
so is Brock Purdy.
So if you were to rank your quarterbacks,
So
Tua
is
would be better than
Jordan
Hurts?
Love.
yes. What? Say it. You got something to say?
No, I don't. I mean,
You got
Hey,
something to
we're
say?
all fucking biased with our quarterbacks, bro.
I agree. No,
would put
I
Brock over Jalen
no,
Hurts right now.
I agree. I actually think. Well, I don't know about Brock, but Tua I think is better than Hurts.
But my
I'm
big
just saying, like
I
you,
actually
you
think
didn't
they're
have
closer
it in the
than people
offseason,
think.
but now you have it, and that's okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
and I approve of that. I approve of that. I said right now, I like that. But the thing is with Jalen Hurts is, and we've talked about it, is it's always been what he does on the ground.
All right, but let's talk about the Dolphins though.
Yeah, we are talking about the Dolphins.
Well,
Good point.
this might be a hard time and probably not the best time. I knew we should have done the fight song early on.
Yeah.
I knew this would go downhill.
You wanna-
Bear down,
No,
Chicago. What is it? What is
What is it?
How's it start?
Miami
You
has
Dolph-
no. Well,
Miami has
level
the
2 noob. I want to
Dolphins.
The
let's
Dolphins
pretty much-
number 1.
Can you teach it
When
to
we
all of
talk
us?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Miami, we talk Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Level 2 noob. I think he's still tuning in. Shout out if he is on yesterday's stream. said if the Dolphins beat the Patriots, Felipe will have to learn the Miami Dolphins fight song and sing it on the podcast. The problem is, I don't know if he memorized it, and I don't know if he's going to sing it alone. So we're going to sing it together, and I'm going to teach every one of you guys. Okay?
Yes.
Miami
has
the
the
Dolphins,
the greatest football team.
team.
No, hold on.
And
backtrack.
when we're talking Dolphins, we're talking football team.
The greatest football team. We got to
And
get
when we're talking Miami, they have a football team.
They do have a football team. It's not Washington's football team, but it is Miami's. We got to get the words right.
Miami has the Dolphins.
Guys, come on. This is how Miami.
Let him go. We'll repeat after.
Here's how I go. Miami has the Dolphins.
The
That's
greatest
first one.
football team.
No, you don't go up with it. Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. Okay.
And when we're
Miami
talking,
has the
Here we go.
Dolphins, the greatest football team.
We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, we're talking Super Bowls. We're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one. One more time. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number one.
Slow zoom.
Bro, you are so red right
I'm going to
now.
slow zoom onto your neck veins.
Dude, I didn't know any necks had that many veins until I saw Adam.
It's a good song, man. I can't lie.
I mean, shout out the banjo. I don't even know if that's the banjo, but it sounds like.
All right.
That was electric.
It's a good song.
All right. I got two more. It's all one more question, but we're going to talk about two more questions. I'm skipping the Jets. We don't got to talk about the
Noob
Jets.
said that might have been better than Felipe giving the solo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solo. Oh, yeah.
You're welcome.
Let's wrap it up with these.
Look how red my hands.
Give me the most overrated, give me the most overrated team after week 2.
Ooh.
Like
God.
going into the season or currently over?
No, like based off
Through
of
week 2, what is the most overrated team?
Yeah, let it be the crossroads between what were the expectations and then where they are now, like what you've seen in the first 2 weeks. So let it be a little overrated team based off of preseason, offseason, and the first 2 weeks. I will say
I'm going to go the Eagles.
ooh.
They're 2-0, so like respect to them. They got their wins. But they almost lost to the Patriots. They tried to hand them the game, and the Patriots didn't take advantage.
Try to hand the Vikings it too.
And then the Vikings fumbled it like 6 times in the first quarter. Jalen Hurts has regressed. Now he can bounce back after a few weeks for sure, but he doesn't look like he looked like last year. And they're just not performing at the same level, the same dominance. But I will say this: so their run game looks incredible, and if they can lean on that all year, they're going to be just fine.
DeAndre Swift was crazy. We're not even.
And their
talking
offensive
about
line
it.
is disgusting.
I'm between two teams.
I got one.
And they just played this week. It's the Lions and Seahawks.
Ooh.
I feel like a lot of people had both teams, either like Seahawks like sneakily winning the NFC West or the Lions winning their division. And right now, I don't think either team looks like a playoff team.
Oof.
Like week 1, the Seahawks got blown out by the Rams. They got fucking dusted. And then they win in overtime against the Lions, who I don't think is that great either. Like, granted, the Lions beat the Chiefs. I don't know. I'm between the Seahawks and Lions. If I had to pick one, I would probably say the Lions are more overrated because people had bigger expectations for them going into the year. But
I got the Chargers. I think the Chargers are the most
yeah.
overrated team, at least in the AFC, let alone after these first 2 weeks. Now, granted, I know so many people are going to point to, I don't even know what the fuck you can point to, because all offseason, it was like, what are you going to say?
Coaching?
Well, coaching,
Yeah,
yes,
part
but it
of
was
it.
like
Costco boy.
he needs his offensive line. He doesn't have an offensive line. What now? It's going to be Austin Eckler. Now it's going to be the defense. But the defense at some point has to give you someone to work with. And I think I like the tweet somewhere, and I can't find the tweet, which is kind of hurting my point that I was going to make.
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. But I just think the Chargers, like, you have everything. And if a quarterback like Justin Herbert gets passes more than anyone else, if we're going to give shit to a Joe Burrow, if we're going to give shit to a Josh Allen, he doesn't play well, a Dak, a fucking Jalen Hurts, like, why isn't Justin Herbert getting slandered for being 0-2?
because he's pretty, I don't fucking know.
Is he though?
He's
I
not
don't
pretty.
even
He's
know.
got good hair.
Like,
Good hair.
the
Better hair than
Chargers,
Trevor.
like, when
That's fast.
Justin Herbert has 10 losses when they're leading at some point in the fourth quarter. That's the most in the NFL since 2022 or 2020. Like,
What? Say that again.
the Chargers are 21-10 with Justin Herbert in games in which they led at any point in the fourth quarter, right? When they're winning in the fourth.
Mhm.
Herbert's 10 such losses are the most in the NFL since 2020. The Chargers are also now 2-5 in overtime with Herbert as a starter. So, like, yeah, he's pretty, but
is he that dude?
if he's a top 5 quarterback,
So, but is that
Give him the shit.
Yeah.
He's not winning. They're 0-2.
But is that
Like,
the Chargers being overrated or Justin Herbert being overrated?
Both.
I think it's both.
Herbert puts
Like,
up gaudy numbers, but I feel like he's never really making those plays like have a fourth quarter comeback
Good
drive. Or
word.
anything. They're always blowing
word.
that lead.
Like,
Gaudy, good word.
if that was any of the other quarterbacks, if that was the only person that would actually get a pass is Mahomes, but if that was the Dak, the Jalen Hurts, or any of these guys, they're getting ridiculed, like literally because they're having decent games and then they're not winning. And so I just think that the Chargers are overrated.
Do you have a team?
I was just gonna throw out another one. I think it might be too early for this one, but I'm gonna say the Chiefs. Chiefs have all the expectation in the world.
To that,
Chiefs have all the expectation in the world to be this juggernaut.
Yeah, it's a good
They only
take.
put up 17 points this week against the Jags.
If
They
we
lost
didn't-
week 1 to the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean,
if we didn't regard Patrick Mahomes so highly, like we would actually be talking a lot of shit on the Chiefs.
I don't know if
Now,
they'd be a playoff team.
Patrick Mahomes still had 300 yards and a touchdown yesterday. Like it's,
As he
I'm not
does.
blaming Patrick Mahomes, but I'm saying if we're talking about overrated as a team, I think the Chiefs could be in that conversation.
Would they be in the playoffs if they didn't have Mahomes? Like, would
No,
they be a playoff team?
Absolutely
Well,
not.
what would be the threshold if the Chiefs didn't have Patrick Mahomes? Like, what quarterback would you need for them to still make the playoffs? Like,
Oh, that's good.
I don't.
I don't
okay.
think anyone. It's so. Patrick
You
Mahomes
put a
is such
few
an
of them.
outlier.
I
Like,
really
could
I
Joe
don't think
Burrow-
anyone
I think,
impacts
like,
their game
I think
like
like
that.
a Kirk Cousins,
gets
Well,
them in the playoffs?
maybe. Like
I don't even
like,
think.
I'm trying to
That's
think
even
of their
low.
worst.
That's low. I think.
I don't
I
even
think you need better
think-
than that.
I think you need.
I think you need
Joe.
They don't have
You
any
need-
receivers.
You might not. You might even need a Jalen Hurts, someone that could run, because like I just don't. Who the fuck is Joe? Burrow
probably
gonna throw
Jalen
to?
Hurts.
Yeah, it's probably Jalen.
And I don't
Hurts.
even think
Trevor
Jalen
Lawrence?
Hurts gets it done.
Maybe
Lawrence.
Trevor.
Like you need an improvise. You need a guy who's like Mahomes, who
Or
can
like
just like
Deshaun Watson
make
4 years
moves on
ago.
the fly. Yeah.
On the field.
Sean Watson 4 years.
All right.
Fucking nice on the field.
Who's the most under? This is our last topic, and then we'll wrap up. Who is the most
You got this. 1, 2,
tired
3.
man? Who's the most underrated team in the NFL after week 2?
Hmm.
I don't know if this is like they're like by like the most underrated team from the standpoint of being able to make some noise, but I will say the LA Rams.
I was about to say that. High five.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll make some noise, but they'll definitely win a lot more games.
They're
Yeah.
underappreciated. We shat on them all offseason.
I
We were
l-
saying they have no one, and
Oh,
they're winning
absolutely.
games.
I think
Yeah.
they have the youngest
Puka
roster in the
Nacua.
NFL.
And
maybe-
Matt Stafford.
Let's see.
They have the youngest roster in the NFL.
And Matt Stafford, sure. Yeah.
He's
and
old
they're-
as fuck.
But
Yeah.
I just like look at Cole. This is what it's actually a good example of the Bill Belichick. Well, I guess Stafford is better than Mac Jones, but it's a good example of like offensive minded coach and defensive minded coach and what they can do for like a team, right? Like roster construction wise, you think the I think it's a fact. The Patriots have a better roster than the Rams. Yes.
Yeah, I guess. so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roster wise, yeah.
And yet still like they have more pieces even on offense. They can't do anything. So I just think like when we talk about coaching, I feel like the first person we go to with coaching is Bill Belichick, but who it really should go to is Sean McVay, because Sean McVay to be able to scheme up the Puka Nacuas of the world, the Tutu Atwells of the world, pretty impressive. I think they're underrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Thoughts? Most underrated team?
Honestly, I don't. It's hard to say like underrated because I think a lot of people know or think that this team is like very good.
Dolphins?
The Dolphins, actually,
Whoa.
because I think you can put the Dolphins in that upper echelon Super Bowl contender tier. After what I saw last night, like Tua tried the Tua, but they actually have a pretty solid run scheme. It looks like when they're forced to not be able to have those deep ball throws down the field, they can run the football a little bit. They're missing Jalen Phillips. They still schemed up nice.
And
defense.
Teron Armstead.
Vic Fangio, not washed. I was going to say maybe washed if Mac Jones beats them yesterday, but you're all good. Don't worry about it. He's off the
In the
hook.
clear.
No, I think the Dolphins are the best team in the AFC East by a pretty good margin, to be completely honest. I think they're top 1-2 seed
I got two
in
spits
the
in here.
AFC, and they can win the Super Bowl. I feel like a lot of people aren't putting them in that Super Bowl contender tier yet, but people should.
Not yet. Not yet. Felipe, you have an underrated team?
Dolphins are by far the best team in the AFC East.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Not close.
But that's the people before were like, oh, maybe the Giants or maybe the Bills. Or,
Well, Jets obviously quarterback
Yeah,
situation, and
that's
Bills just look bad. Good week this week, but Raiders. I'll say I'll just go with the Falcons. Big win against Green Bay. I think Green Bay's a
That
pretty
too.
good team.
Yeah.
Falcons big win. They should have won. Did they win week 1? Yeah, they were 2-0, right?
2-0.
Yeah. I think people knew they were talented. Quarterback situation, obviously, something to be worried about. Still
He
is.
threw a pick, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. No more.
It's tough.
Oh,
for
he
us.
did?
He doesn't look bad.
He did. He threw a
He's
pick.
not asked to do much.
He's
though.
good. That's Desmond Ritter doesn't care. He doesn't care
Yeah,
if that's-
which is good.
yeah.
Goody doesn't care because I don't know if
He also runs like
otherwise.
Marcus Mariota. I thought it was Mariota yesterday when we were watching
It
it.
was good. Well, he's athletic.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably the Falcons. Bijan gave him a little bit more work yesterday. He looked good with those touches. And the defense is still good. And I think like the Packers are a
Good team.
fucking good team. And so that's a huge win. Not to mention that they were down by a couple of touchdowns and they came back to win.
Mhm.
So that was really
was
impressive
impressive.
to see the Falcons
Yeah,
do
I
that.
thought I
So
had that
they have
locked.
they got pedigree. You know what I mean? They can get it done.
I was about to say the Packers are the most underrated. I'm like, wait, but they just fucking lost to a team that's even
But
more
even
underrated
so,
than the
but that's
Falcons.
I think
Like-
both of those teams are still underrated.
But there's also something to be said about a team that can still win when you know what their game plan is, right? Like it's the Titans all these years where you know Derrick Henry's going to get force fed, and yet they still make the playoffs. They were the number 1 seed at one point. Like the Falcons, you know where the ball is going for the most part. They're going to run the ball with either Bijan or Tyler Algier, and yet they are still going to have
Maybe it's a
success.
play action of fucking Drake London.
Yeah, like it's they're. I agree. The Falcons are beyond underrated.
Desmond Ritter, I like it. Desmond Ritter's mindset too, where he's like, "Hey, I don't care. Like, I don't need to put up gaudy. I don't need to put up all these stats or anything like that."
Gaudy.
I almost said it again. That's too many times using gaudy.
What is
in
the
one
actual definition of gaudy?
pod. Gaudy? Like
Flashy?
mind-blowing.
Flashy. Curious.
No,
what the
but I
actual
like that
definition
he's
is.
like totally body. And he's like, all I gotta do is just make good decisions, hand the ball off, and I'm fine.
Yo, shout out 100 people watching us on TikTok right
Yeah,
now.
That's
so
actually a lot.
If you're listening at home right now,
It's
be
cold.
sure to tune into our lives. We're going to go live every
Looks like a
Sunday,
cake, bro.
Monday, and Tuesday morning. Sunday is going to be, as we've done the last couple weeks, 12 o'clock Eastern, right ahead of the Sunday slate of football. And then Monday and Tuesday is going to be 10:30 in the morning. Shout out all you watching right now at home on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you might be watching this.
I know we were going to sign off, but someone said mention the Colts. The Colts are slept on. I know we got into a massive argument in the office today with our dear friend Ryan Conda, who's a Colts fan. One word to describe the Colts and Anthony Richardson right now. Go.
Mid.
Injury prone.
Yeah, I was
What do you
about
got?
to say that.
What do you got?
Fine. How's that?
Sure.
They're good.
That's my
They're
word.
fine,
Sure.
but like I'm
They
just
lost
worried
by
about the
11
way he
to
plays the game.
Jaguars last week, and
It's also the
and
Texans.
then they beat the Texans by 11 this week.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't know
cool,
what they are. yet.
congrats. Like, I don't know. Also, Gardner Minshew, the Jets should look into trading for Gardner Minshew.
They should.
Taylor
He's
Heineke.
a guy that can sling it a little bit. He's not going to make many mistakes. He can win you football games.
Yeah.
They should look at any other quarterback. Honestly.
Literally anyone, bro. Look at Sam Darnold. Maybe I don't fucking know.
Jack
Bring him
Perotti.
back.
Yeah, throw Jack in there.
I got a good arm.
Dust off the old baseball.
Honestly, trade for Mac Jones. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Division II
The
rival.
Patriots give up this year. Go get Caleb Williams. Go get your next Tom Brady. And the Jets with Mac Jones can be a fucking problem.
They
But
could be.
I don't think that they're going to do that. So
Well, the Patriots won't trade with the Jets.
They
You know
also
who the
won't
Jets
do
should
that.
go out and get also? T. Higgins.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that yesterday a little
T.
bit.
Higgins needs the Bengals should trade T. Higgins.
All right. Well, we could talk about all these potentially hypotheticals tomorrow of what could improve certain teams. But
no, actually, we could talk. Well, we can talk about it tomorrow, but you'll hear it on Wednesday.
great.
Because tomorrow.
But
Because
we
tomorrow-
will. We will be going live at 10:30 a.m. Tuesday morning for a fantasy episode. So
Yeah.
tune into that where Adam and Felipe
Felipe and I are going to make it up. Don't worry.
they're gonna make love
Are you guys gonna
on
watch a lot of
camera.
Puka?
And
Yeah.
that's all we got for today. Happy recaps. Happy football. Let's get right into week 3. You know what I'm saying?
Quick
Oh,
prediction
yeah.
on the night.
On the what?
Oh, there's 2 games.
Oh,
Oh, there's
two.
games
I mean,
tonight.
I picked what Steelers Saints, I think. So
Yeah,
just
I'm
rock
stick
with
with
that.
that.
They're really
Yeah.
boring games.
I'm not gonna do win predictions because we had that on our last episode. George Pickens first touchdown.
like
Yeah,
it.
go check out
About
our
it.
Friday episode to see the predictions. Quickly, I know we're going over. We're way going over, but we are going to bully you right now and decided on the punishment.
Yeah, what is it?
The
I thought you were
punishment.
gonna say that earlier.
It's
Yeah, I
good.
forgot it. I know you were hesitant on
Yeah, what is it?
shaving your
Tell me.
head.
Tell me
So
what
So
it
we
there's
have,
another option because I didn't want to shave either.
Yeah.
you either shave your head or you have to bleach your hair or get frosted tips.
Frosted
I'll
tips.
shave my head.
Okay.
I'd rather shave my head.
I'd way rather frost my tips.
I'm going to do both, so it doesn't matter.
I'd rather shave my head.
That what? You're gonna like frost them and then shave it,
No, I'm going to bleach it.
and then shave it.
Yeah.
No, but like,
No,
that's a
I'm
good
not talking- we're not
alternative,
talking
but I'd
bald,
rather
like
shave
buzz
my
cut,
head.
I
Okay.
think, right?
For those that are watching on TikTok, we have our Friday predictions episode where we obviously know our score. What record?
We predict the
Yeah,
the
go
record of
for
the
it.
week each week. So on Friday after Thursday night football, so we don't include Thursday night, but we predict how the Sunday slate Monday is going to go, and then we keep a record throughout the season. And the winner is still not going to get anything apparently, but the loser is going to get punished, and that's going to be either shaving your head or doing frosted tips.
Who here would do frosted tips over shaving head? Just me. I think it'd be fucking hysterical.
I would
frosted
rather.
tips or bleach, right?
I would rather
Yeah, yeah,
shave
yeah.
my head for the sake of
I think
my
frosted tips
look.
is hilarious.
and
it's
shout
funny.
out in sync.
How long? How long?
And shout out to Smash Mouth.
You have to
Singing,
leave this for us the tips until your next hair, like for 3 weeks.
Yeah, for 3 weeks.
However long they last, I don't know how long they last.
Like until your hair goes back and you want to like look like a human being again.
Well, everyone cuts their hair at a different pace, though.
This one's
Yeah,
true.
I do
My hair
mine,
goes
like, once
back
a
quick.
month.
All right, yo, we have to wrap up. Thank you for listening to the Caps Off podcast. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Tomorrow, 10:30.